So thank you for joining me here today at the new stadium.
That looks like the old stadium.
Yeah, it does look like the old one, but it is the new one. It's got the sign that says it's the new one. Anyway, it's not going to be called the Lincoln Gibraltar Stadium anymore because the team are welcoming a new sponsor on board to help the club progress forward and try and stay in La Liga, basically. So everyone, welcome to the One Football Arena. That's right, One Football is back sponsoring the channel again for a few videos. So thank you very much to One Football for that. But also thank you to you guys as well, because obviously they wouldn't come back to do more sponsorship with me if they weren't pleased with that first campaign. And that first campaign went well because of you guys. So thank you very much. One Football is the best football scores and news app out there. You get all of the latest news on the biggest stories from around the world in football from a variety of different sites, as well as their own journalism as well. You can also get your tailored news to the teams that you support as well. You can see all of the matches and their live scores as they come through, and you can tailor that to whatever leagues you want from around the world as well. You can follow any team from around the world. So I've got Lincoln City, I've got Lincoln Gibraltar, I've got Pushkas Academy, I've also got Grasshoppers as well to keep up to date with all the teams that I've managed in previous Football Manager saves, and you can have as many or as few push notifications turned on for these games as possible. So I like to have all the push notifications turned on so I get all the score updates for Pushkas and for Grasshoppers as well. So it was good to see Pushkas get a win the other day. Great stuff for them. So we'd massively appreciate it if you could go and download the One Football app from the top line of the description for absolutely free. So hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco 3. Hope you're all doing well today and looking forward to today's episode, where I think there should be quite a few bits to celebrate. Today we've got the youth intake day, which hopefully is going to be really good. We've got some big games against Sevilla and against Barcelona, but most importantly, we have played particularly well in between episodes. You were last here for that 1-1 draw against Valencia before my PC was going a little bit mental. It seemed to be alright on the video, but when I was actually recording it, it just looked a bit unplayable. So I was a little bit concerned, but I think it's all okay and seems to be fixed now. So no worries there, which is great. And as you can see, it didn't affect the team either, because for the first time in La Liga, we've had back-to-back victories and clean sheets as well, which is mental, but we'll get into those games very shortly. We started off with a 2-2 draw with Levante, a game that really we needed to be getting a good result in if we wanted to try and stay away from the relegation zone, and a draw for us is a very good result, so very pleased with the 2-2 draw there. We then managed to thrash Mallorca. I say thrash, it was 2-0. Mallorca sitting bottom of the table. If we didn't win this game, we would have been very worried, but luckily Joe McLean was on form to score the goals in that game. We then suffered two narrow defeats to Tenerife and Villarreal. Both games lost 1-0, so rather unfortunate in those games, particularly with Tenerife one, because Tenerife are also a team battling against relegation, so that was kind of a relegation 6-pointer game that we lost a little bit, which obviously wasn't ideal. Villarreal are a much better side, so we weren't expected to beat them, but to only lose 1-0 with Gahinde also being sent off in that game wasn't too bad. The two, I'm going to say, best performances of the league season, though, have come in two away games in a row. A 3-0 victory over Real Betis. Joe McLean got the opening goal before Nikita Razakin got his first goal for the club in the league as well. And then Kenneth got one right at the end in the 89th minute. So that was a fantastic result for us, although Betis also one of the two teams that are pretty much already relegated this season because they have been terrible. So if we didn't win that game, that would have been a little bit of a shock. Real Valladolid, we beat them 2-0. Perez and McLean get themselves on the score sheet there. And this was the game essentially we had to win because Valladolid got promoted alongside us last season. If we want to stay up in this division, we've got to beat the teams that also got promoted alongside us. So these two games were absolutely fantastic. And what it means for us is I think we are on the cusp of being safe in this division. We've had some really good fixtures and results, and we are now 8 points clear of Getafe in the division on 33 points. Now, a few episodes ago, we looked back and found out that actually to survive in this division, the minimum points you need in every single season to survive every single season in this save file so far is 37 points. Obviously, some seasons it's less because some teams get less some seasons, but 37 is the absolute minimum that's ever been needed to survive in this division, and we are currently 4 points off that. So I think that we are in a great position. So all we need to do in the remaining 9 games of the season is pick up 4 points. Now, this sounds easy. It might not be doable because we have a very, very difficult April. Sevilla in 6th, Barcelona in 3rd, Real Madrid in 1st, Espanyol in 15th, that might be the winnable game, and then Atletico Madrid in 4th. So April is a very difficult month, and even May. Bilbao are in 5th. Getafe, a relegation threatened team, we have to beat them. And then Leganes in 8th and Real Sociedad in 13th. Like, it's not an easy end to the season. Realistically, I'd expect to beat Getafe and maybe Espanyol. But the Espanyol game could easily be a draw. Getafe, you never know. So those 4 points might be quite difficult to come by. We're going to give it our best shot though, starting against Seville today. However, we do need to talk about the youth intake that has just come through. Not the greatest youth intake we've ever had in the world, I will say. But we do have a young winger there with 4.5 stars of potential. And we are in La Liga now, remember. So in the past, we've had loads of players come through with 5-star potential. But they were 5-star potential for when we were in, the Spanish 3rd or 4th tier or something like that. To have a player with 4.5 stars of potential in La Liga, this could be the best youth player we've ever had come through, potentially Liam Morris. He does look pretty decent off the bat. Where his attributes matter at 15 years old, they are actually insane. I mean, technique at 13 is very, very good. He's got some decent physicals, and his mentals aren't the worst for a young player as well. Determination of 11, a little bit low, but we can always tutor this out of him. He's only 15 years old. 2 more players, a striker and an attacking midfielder. Ian Marsh as a striker, finishing of 12 and first touch of 11 is not too bad either. His mental's actually very, very good too, but physicals maybe let him down a little bit. But again, he's only 15 years old. And then Paul Jones, the attacking midfielder, has got some really good technicals where they matter. First touch of 15, passing of 15 is fantastic. Love that flair of 19 as well. I'm expecting rainbow flicks on the pitch from Paul Jones of all players. However, he's only 15 years old. It's going to take a while for him to develop as well. So if you want to claim one of these young players, then get yourself down into the link in the description to sign up to the Patreon, just as Harry Wells did yesterday. Thank you very much, Harry. Massively appreciate that. But finally, we are at today's first game, and this is the team that is going to be taking on Seville. Now, what I will say is we are lacking at the back a little bit because Dio Garcia got recalled because he wasn't playing enough games, which is kind of understandable. I think we did have him as a regular starter or maybe even important player. So the fact he's lasted this long with not playing first team football regularly was quite surprising. So Gonzalez is starting in goal for us today because Dekene is currently injured. He's got a knock out for another week or so. So he might actually miss the Barcelona game, which is a little bit frustrating. But Gonzalez is good, and we've got a very nice backline in Ballista, Munoz, Ingerson and Pineda. Pascal, Sanchez and Lalovic start in that centre midfield trio with the on-loan trio of McLean, Perez and Gisk starting up front. They are the only players scoring goals for us this season at 11, 7 and 12 from those guys so far. The next best player is Rasad Kin, who came in January with 2 goals, or Kahinde with 2 goals. Now, obviously next season we're going to reduce our what am I trying to say? Our reliance on loan players massively, but Perez, McLean and Gisk, we might have to just get them back because they're the only ones who know where the back of the net is right now. So as kickoff is upon us, talking about next season, if we do stay in La Liga, I am very excited for the transfer special because we will have a big chunk of money to spend on players, and because coming into this season we only had 3 scouts, now we've got like 6, 7 scouts or so. We'll actually have the facilities to actually get lots of reports on lots of players. So we'll be in a very good position to actually sign some decent players, I think. So I'm massively looking forward to what I think is going to be the best transfer special yet for next season if we stay in this division. Even if we get relegated though, we'll have a big chunk of money to spend. So it will be an interesting transfer window, whatever division we end up in, as Sevilla can't score the opening goal of the game from the corner. What I am quite surprised about though is that we are dominating right now in the One Football Arena. Now, I forgot to mention this at the start of the video. Well, I didn't forget to mention it. You saw at the start of the video, the stadium is now called the One Football Arena, but it's actually called that in-game as well. I managed to change the stadium name in Game 2, and there will be a tutorial coming out on that later on today as well. It might be even out now, so check the channel. You might see the video. But if you want to change your stadium name in-game without using the editor, any sort of editor, third party, the pre-game, the in-game editor, it's just changing a file essentially. There's a tutorial coming out later on. I'll link it on the video somewhere around about now, I'm sure, as well on the top of the screen if you want to watch that one. If it's out by the time you watch it. Basically, it's probably going to be out. Ballista on the ball for us right now into Ingerson, into Pineda. Pineda forward to Gisk. Gisk. Oh, he's got that goal just before half-time, and the crowd at the One Football Arena are going mental as Gisk gets his 13th of the season. We go 1-0 up against Sevilla. We go 1-0 up against Sevilla, And we are now 1 point away, technically, from guaranteed safety, in my opinion, if we win this game. So there we go, half-time from the One Football Arena. It's called the One Football Arena in-game. I did neglect to mention that right at the start, but it is called that in-game as well, which is really, really cool, I think. And of course, our kits are still sponsored by One Football as well. So, you know, make sure you download One Football in the link in the description. It's absolutely free. You know, please do it. It massively helps me out if you guys do it, because, you know, they'll come back for more sponsorship in the future as well, which is absolutely mental. So thank you very much to One Football and to you guys for all your continued support on the previous sponsorship integrations that we did. Another 2 weeks of them now as well, which is going to be great fun to do and integrate into the videos, as unfortunately Seville don't like the One Football integration because they've scored. I think it's time to make some changes right after this corner from Seville. We have, I never quite know, because the city is Seville. Is the club Sevilla? I think it's Sevilla. I think that's how you say it. It doesn't matter. They've scored. It's offside. It's behind me, but he's offside. The assistant linesman has put his flag up. It's definitely offside. It might go to VAR. It's going to VAR, but I'm pretty sure there's an offside in there, so we're not 2-1 down. Yeah, take that, Seville, whatever you're called. But I'm sure the team is Sevilla, I think. Basically, I'm just pretty sure I've already had some angry comments down below saying it's Sevilla, not Seville, or it's Seville, not Sevilla. Stop saying it differently every single time. Time to take Gisk off and bring Rasadkin on, see if he can score some goals towards the end of this game. David Perez not been the best of games either, so Robert Tapu will come on. And actually, let's give a chance for 17-year-old Martin Ramos, the record signing at the club. Let's see what he can do on left wing. So a complete change of the front three, and this front three could be the front three for next season if we fail to get some better players in, or we fail to get these guys back on loan. So we need to see what they can do, and hopefully towards the end of this game they can create something, as Zinchenko on the ball for the team beginning with S, as they get it into Kevin Anthony and Pineda with a good clearance, although it only goes as far as the team beginning with S players. Zinchenko forward into his strike partner, hits the post. Oh, it bounced around the area dangerously then. I thought that was going to be one of those Football Manager moments where it just finds itself in the back of the net somehow. It doesn't matter though, because Ronnie Lopez scores a fantastic free kick, and despite the brilliant play from us today, I genuinely think we've outplayed the team beginning with S. And yet, Gonzalez should have done better with that one, really, I must say. Actually, no, Sevilla have got 16 shots to our 9 shots. The first half, we were slightly better, I think, but second half, they've really come and shown us why they are chasing down Champions League football, and they've beaten us 2-1. It just shows how difficult this division is. You know, 1 minute you can be winning the game, the next minute you can be absolutely trounced by a team like Sevilla. Weirdly, it's Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola is the manager. He's gone from Barcelona to Bayern to City to Sevilla. That seems like a weird move. Either way, up next is Barcelona. Now, we got a famous draw against them a few days ago in a different episode. Today we're playing away from home to Barcelona. I feel like it's going to be a very different game. So for me, I don't really want to change the lineup actually from that previous game, because it seems to be we played very, very well. So I'm happy to submit the team and go for it. Yes, you might argue that we should be going for a more defensive formation away from home against Barcelona, but we played this formation at home against Barcelona and got a draw. And if one of our goals wasn't disallowed, we would have won the game. So for me, I think it just makes sense to stick with what we know, what's been working for us and got us into 14th place in the table for most of this season, and just see if we can do it again against Barcelona. As it's a bit different, obviously, because they are at home. They're a very good team, and Pedri racing forward in the early stages of the game. Out to Everton. Everton in the area. I mean, I'm not quite sure how we haven't defended there. I mean, we've just stood still. Okay, well, potentially this is a sign of things to come, but I mean, I don't know what our defenders were doing at this stage. I mean, they've just let Everton run between them, and they've... okay. Maybe we should have got more defensive. Less than 10 minutes into the game, and Barcelona looking to come forward again through Pedri, although we have made the interception. Sanchez on the ball. Come on, Sanchez, do something clever with it. I couldn't. It's not very clever at all, is it, boys? It's not very clever. It's lazy football, really, if anything. Here come Barcelona, breeze past our players. Don't tell me it's a penalty. It's not a penalty, but they've scored anyway. 10 minutes into. Don't worry, boys. It's not like it's the only fixture right now, which means the entirety of Spain are watching this game and watching us get absolutely trounced by Barcelona. It's a bit embarrassing, boys, if I'm honest with you. It's a little bit embarrassing. Can we just start playing better? Play like we did against... I'm tempted to do what I do on streams. And what I do on streams is get up and get a glass of water and let you guys be the managers. Although you can't control anything because it's on my computer. You can't control it, you guys. Up in Mencano, right, this is it. We're back in the game now. So I'd normally get up and something mad would happen. We'd probably like concede 2 or 3 goals, but it means I can blame you guys for it. Because this isn't a live stream, I can't really do that because you guys aren't here live with me. But that's what I like to do on live streams, you know, blame you guys if we lose games and say it's not my fault, I'm not a bad manager, it's you lot who are the bad managers. But I really think now that Upperman Khan has been sent off, this game turns around. It turns around now. 4-3 to Lincoln come the end of this one, and here comes the first of those. Here comes the first of those goals. Right, McLean, Pascal, Sanchez, Munoz, liquid football right now. Ballista in the middle, Sanchez, McLean, Lalovic. I mean, we should be celebrating there. Why are we not celebrating? Why has that not gone on the back of a net? This one will go in the back of a net as Munoz in the middle. There we go. David Perez gets one back for us just before half time. I told you, we're going to win this game 4-3. 5-4. 5-4 is going to be the final result to us. Looking forward to that. Front 3 not playing particularly well. Perez for Tapu. Let's get... swap those 2 back over. McLean off for Ramos. And Radicus in on for Kenneth. Although maybe Lalovic should have come off. He's on a 5.9. Maybe the front 3 aren't the issue. Either way, we are running out of time to get this 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th goal. Come on, here we go. Right, 10 minutes ago, this is where we're going to turn the style on and get the goals we need. Ramos into Ballista into Sanchez into Tapu. There we go. There's number 1. 3 more to go. We can do it. There's plenty of time to get those 3 goals. Plenty of time to get those. Why are we not scoring those 3 goals? I have specifically requested that we score 3 more goals. Game's broken. That's the only explanation. Game's broken. Okay, so 2 losses today. I mean, I guess they were kind of expected. And if we're being honest with ourselves, we will probably end up losing the rest of the games this month as well. So, next episode, we will most likely be back for Getafe, Leganes, Real Sociedad, I would imagine. It kind of depends how close it gets towards the end of the season. Now, we've kicked off early or late. I think early compared to everyone else. So let's just see the rest of the fixtures come through so we can get a good idea of what the table looks like as we head into the final 7 games of the season. So there we go. Everyone's on 31 games played. 7 games to go. We are 7 points clear of the relegation zone. And statistically speaking, we only need 4 more points to stay afloat this season. It looks likely, doesn't it? It looks likely. But really, anyone from Sporting Gijón downwards is in the threat of relegation. So a lot of teams can still be in trouble. That bodes well for us, though, because all we have to do is just do better than... I mean, Betis and Mallorca are relegated, I would say. They're out of it pretty much already. All we've got to do is just better than one of these 4 other teams. That's all we've got to do. It sounds simple enough. So thank you so much for watching today's episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have done, drop a like on today's video for me. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I will see you next time. Have a good one. Goodbye.